Good evening, everyone. My name is Shabana Rasheed, and I'm currently leading the Committees and Research section under the guidance of Consul General. Um, I would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to Bússola Tech for providing us with this platform to highlight the recent endeavors in legislative modernization. Um, as we move forward, I am proud to say that the people Majlis have been playing a pivotal role in in the digitalization and modernization of our parliamentary systems. These efforts aim to enhance democratic processes, increase transparency, and improve efficiency in governance. By leveraging the modern technology, we are working to streamline the legislative functions to make people's messages more accessible to citizens and foster more dynamic engagement between the lawmakers and the people they represent. This initiative is actually a joint effort involving multiple parliamentary divisions, including Parliamentary Education Services, Media, ICT, and the Committee and Research section, all working closely together with the guidance of the Secretary General to ensure the effectiveness of this modernization process. One of the first significant steps in this direction was the digitalization of the voting system. This electronic voting system was electronic voting system has allowed us to make the voting processes faster and more accurate, reducing the potential for errors. Additionally, during the COVID pandemic, an online platform was introduced, enabling the members of the parliament to access and participate in parliamentary sessions, debates, and committee discussions remotely. We also recognize the importance of the public engagement in our legislative work. People's Majlis has always provided opportunities for the public to contribute to our initiatives. When Parliament is scrutinizing a bill, a motion, or any other issues, letters are sent to the stakeholders for comments, and these matters are open for public feedback as well. Furthermore, when people Majlis appoint officials to executive functions or independent institutions, these matters are also open for public comments. In addition, depending on the social impact and media reaction surrounding a bill, public forums are also organized to promote greater awareness and inclusion. For certain bills, our committees even invite stakeholders to engage with the public at these forums, creating a space where opinions can be freely expressed and policies can be clearly conveyed. The People Majlis is also very active in social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, and to a lesser extent on platforms like Clubhouse, TikTok. Over the past few years, we have made concerted efforts to increase the amount of information available on the People Majlis website. For example, we have made our library collection and digital archives accessible online to ensure that the public have easy access to the parliamentary records. This transparency also fosters accountability, allowing citizens to stay informed about the workings of the People Majlis. Moreover, we also live stream our debates and sessions through online platforms like YouTube, allowing public to follow parliamentary proceedings in real time and ensure that legislators are held accountable for their actions. For key parliamentary events or debates, People Majlis offer real-time sign language interpretation. This is also provided via videos and streaming platforms as well. One thing is, despite of this effort, public engagement in legislative and oversight activity has been actually relatively low. There are many reasons for this, one of which is the geographical distribution of the islands. Even in this technological age, region people who live far from the capital city remains a challenge in Maldives. When it comes to petitions, for instance, petitioners often get the support only from their immediate environment. because it is actually cost effective and timely for them to do so. Another contributing factor is also the level of public trust in the People's Majlis. In light of this, we are currently working to develop a better approach and more accessible avenues for public engagement in the parliamentary processes. The People Majlis is moving toward more modernized, innovative, and transparent citizen participation processes, which not only foster stronger relationship but also increase trust and also empower citizens to actively participate in the governance of Maldives. These changes aims to provide a direct channel for citizens to voice their concerns, advocate for changes, and engage with their elected representatives. These inclusion approaches will further strengthen the democratic value of the People's Majlis and foster greater sense of ownership and responsibility among the citizens for future of our country. So now let me take a moment to elaborate some of the key digital initiatives that are currently underway. The first of this initiative is the electronic petition system in the Maldives. The in the introduction of electronic petition system is a crucial step towards enhancing democratic governance, promoting citizen engagement, and fostering transparency. With the assistance of the United Nations Development Programme, this system will provide a channel for direct communication between the Parliament and its citizens and will ensure that the citizens can track the progress of their petition in real time. This system will accommodate diverse user groups, ensuring accessibility for people with disabilities and individuals with varying level of digital literacy. And in addition to the electronic petition system, the public consultation portal, which was initially started the development with the support of Westminster's Foundation for Democracy, is now continue with the UNDP assistance, is another important step in our digitalization journey. This portal will make bills, motions, resolutions easily accessible online, allowing citizens and lawmakers alike to track the legislative progress, view debates, and provide feedback digitally. Public consultation is a crucial part of our legislative process and this portal will allow stakeholders to voice their opinions, submit feedbacks, and receive updates on the legislation under development or review. The portal will also allow the public to give support to legislations anonymously or with their contact information. These portals will be accessible via both desktop and mobile devices and will include multiple forms of consultative processes such as polls, audio versions of bills to ensure inclusivity. Last but not least is the Civil Society Parliamentary Network. The registration and vetting strategy for the creation of civil society and parliamentary network was established with the help of WFP. The establishment of CSPA and within the People's Majlis is to recognize the crucial role that the civil society organization plays in fostering positive social societal change. The CSPN is actually designed to ensure transparency, integrity, and accountability, and will enhance the engagement of CSO in the legislative processes. The registration strategy for CSPN has already been endorsed by the People Majlis, and registration process is available in our website. Moving forward, the digital registration process for CSPN will be integrated to the public consultation portal that I mentioned just before. The first CSPN annual forum was held on February 2025, and in this forum, members of the parliament, parliamentary staff, CSOs, and experts engage in dialogues in key thematic areas. The mentioned systems are currently under development, and with the completion deadline set for 30th May 2025. As we continue the development of this portal, we place a significant importance on ensuring that they are accessible to the individuals with disabilities. This means working closely with the developer to ensure that all portals meet the web content accessibility guideline, ensuring full public participation in the democratic process for everyone, regardless of their ability. In conclusion, the goal of this initiative is to create an inclusive environment where every citizen, regardless of their abilities or location, can participate in the legislative process, stay informed, and contribute their views on policies and laws. So, to conclude, I would like to thank you for your attention, and I look forward to seeing how these digital tools will continue to strengthen democracy and citizen engagement in Maldives. Furthermore, I look forward to hearing from your community via your knowledge exchange collaboration to further enhance our journey towards modernization and digital transformation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, yeah, for your very insightful presentation. It's very informative, and it's really nice to see how you really are sort of embracing that sort of citizen engagement side of things, and how the sort of digital innovations that you're actually wanting to actually achieve and are achieving as well is important to achieve those goals. I was curious to know, sometimes you mentioned during your presentation access to the, say, the UNDP funds or some of the other funds out there. And I think maybe there are some parliaments which may not know about these sort of different initiatives out there to help developing countries really, I think, enhance their sort of digitization and their sort of citizen sort of centric sort of processes. I was wondering, sort of, can you explain, you know, what that process looks like to involve yourself within the UNDP and how that has really benefited your country?
Mostly, we do have a dialogue with WFP as well as UNDP, and when we have when they receive the funds, we have the dialogue with them regarding the important projects that we want to continue, and based on that, actually, and sometimes also we request them prior regarding the development projects that we need that we require in future. So based on that, they will be contributing to us depending on the funding availability, actually.
Yeah, no, that's very good. Yeah, it's interesting to understand, like, there are different avenues out there, and sometimes people are not aware of those, which is interesting to understand. When I was sort of looking at, you know, the digitization, and you have existing portals, and you're looking at sort of the electronic petition system, etc. How do you sort of resource those in terms of, do you sort of employ people to actually then develop those systems internally, or do you outsource those to an external company, as an example? Or, like, you know, what sort of within your own team do you have the sort of technical capability to actually then, I suppose, take, you know, something which is off a shelf and then you know, increase its sort of functionality to meet your needs?
We at the moment we don't have the resources. So what we do is actually, with the help of WFT or UNDP, we outsource the development of these portals to the external parties. So usually external parties develop it, but part of this project is actually the capacity building of the people Majlis in order to, because once they head over, they will be developing the technical capability of the IT department to further to bring about any updates which is required for these portals.
Yeah, fantastic. That's really, it is a good thing to know as well. Sometimes when you engage with external people, they might then hand over their deliverable, but then it's up to you to then support it. So it is actually really good that you're sort of, you know, looking at increasing your sort of capability in your team internally, which is always a good thing. I was wondering, if we look at sort of the electronic petition process, that's always a interesting avenue to, I suppose, engage with citizens. As an example, I was wondering, what was the sort of thoughts in terms of both your members and also your procedure side of things as well? So when you look at e-petitions, sometimes you have to update your procedures and a range of other sort of areas within the parliament to move from, say, a paper-based system to a electronic system as well. Have you sort of had to go through any challenges in terms of understanding, or updating the rules to enable some of your digitization, and what other sort of challenges look like for you?
I think we have huge support from the our Secretary General to do these digitalization processes. So for now, actually, as we are in the process of developing the petition system and public consultation portal, both will require some changes to our standing order. That is actually the governance regulation of the People's Majlis. So once actually these portals are implemented, we will be bringing about the necessary changes to the standing order to in order to facilitate the work of the portals.
Yeah, excellent. That's good to know. And in terms of your view on the use of, say, artificial intelligence within the Parliament, what are your sort of thoughts in terms of the adoption within your Parliament? And, is that something which you're looking at in the future, or something which is, something you're wanting to take advantage of now?
Artificial intelligence is something that we need to take advantage in the future because things actually it will in a way it will actually fasten the processes, and also it will I mean actually in many ways it will actually improve the efficiency of the parliamentary work. But this is actually something that we will be looking into in the future, like some we are looking into the features like speech recognition softwares, audit descriptive services, and we are looking into this, but actually at the moment we don't have any progress on this on this on this actually. So but that is something that we will be looking in the future actually. But that is we that's
Yeah, definitely. I think, said like, it sounds like you have got a lot of projects on at the moment, and sometimes you have to focus on some of your high priority items, for citizens' engagement, etc. Out of curiosity, I sort of noticed that when you were sort of doing your presentation as well, you were talking about social media, and say the younger generation and the impact of social media and mobile devices and those sort of areas as well. How important, do you think it is now for parliaments to really, I think, adapt to that sort of more modern sort of experience for the younger generation, as well as some of the older generation as well, which are using like into the technology quite a bit? And what's your sort of thoughts in terms of how we can sort of tap into those sort of areas to increase the involvement of citizens with Parliament?
I think it is very important. That's the main reason why actually when we started developing the portal also we wanted to have a mobile version as well as a web version, because the thing is actually most of the people are now we have actually very young generation, and for them mobile version is more accessible compared to the other version. So we are thinking actually we think it is very important in order to have increased accessibility in future to have this modernization in place.
Yeah, I think it's actually an overlooked thing sometimes in terms of the importance of developing a mobile application instead of just a web page which is mobile friendly. And we see a lot more sort of trends around the use of an actual like a real application versus a website, when we're actually looking at the dealings with Parliament as well. And I'm wondering, for example, you have quite a few members of Parliament as well. what has their sort of adoption been like? But with your digitization process and digitization of bills and digitization of motions and all those sort of other things, are they finding that where you are moving a lot more towards the paperless environment, or and I know sometimes with members of parliament who have been in there for 20 years or 30 years, they very much love their paper, and it's sometimes hard to change. So I'm curious to get your thoughts around that.
I think more, what is lacking is actually the resources, because when it comes to digitalization, it requires a lot of investments when it comes to committee rooms and all. But one of the advantage we have is actually now the um, plenary is actually digitalized, and in most in the flow actually when they have the sessions is actually paperless now. But in committees, still, because we don't have the digital means established within the committees, most of the time the sessions are carried out with the help of the paper. Yeah, so I think it actually requires a lot of investments within the parliament in order to go for that. But I think what we are lacking is the resources to do so. But I think actually members are very positive towards it. Even the staff also prefers that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if we look at, for example, hiring of new staff and a range of other things, that a lot of sort of, they're more interested in joining more of a progressive and, sort of innovative company and organization as well, who are doing digital things and a range of other things to sort of really attract for decent talent within the organization as well, I think, as part of our process. And I suppose when I look at committees, I always look at the amount of information that a committee has to usually process. And, that can be quite significant at times as well, like with legislation or with the community consultations, etc. So it is, I suppose, a difficult thing where you've got to balance, the financial responsibility against actually, what we can actually achieve within, say, a 12-month period, as an example, within the budget. So, would you sort of give any other advice in terms of, using, say, open source, or is there any sort of other, I suppose, levers which you are aware of, which are like you could use, to help with those sort of processes to, I suppose, kickstart like the digital innovation side of things in a parliament?
I think at the moment also, when it comes to bigger documents, what we do is actually we use the um, projectors to put in to the committee. But even when we go through the bills, also we do it rather than printing it. So um, there are other means, but still, actually, we still have need more resources in order to have it more, make it more efficient in future. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So yeah, I think I'm aware that I believe you're sitting today in your parliament. You have a session coming up. I think it's on YouTube, so which will be exciting. So I have no more further questions, and really appreciate your presentation today. And it's been very informative, and I really have enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity as well. And I'm really sorry with the delay because we have been very busy in the parliament. And actually, even today also, we didn't have very limited time to get prepared for the presentation as well. So, but really happy to have this session with you.